Welcome to the world behind midnight. Tonight, we uncover something that should have stayed buried. If you're hearing this, it's already too late. 2 weeks. That's how long it's been since the fire. Since the screams, the smoke, and the yellow eyes that wouldn't die in the dark. The police wrote everything off as trauma. A wild animal, a gas leak, imagination under stress. The word monster never made it into the report. Maya and I stopped trying to convince anyone. People don't want monsters to be real. They want stories that end neatly. We're both back at school now. Different schedules, different friends, pretending we're fine. But the woods behind my new house still look the same. And at night, I hear something pacing along the tree line, like it never left. Mom says it's the wind. I don't argue anymore. Maya texts me less these days. She's still recovering from the burns, nightmares, everything. But sometimes at 3 a.m., she messages one word, awake. I always answer, yeah, because I am. Last night, she sent something new, a picture. It was taken outside her window. Just the street light, a sidewalk, and something tall at the edge of the frame, watching. I called her immediately, but she didn't pick up. She texted back a minute later. It's gone now, probably nothing. That's the same lie I told myself before the fire. This morning, she didn't show up to class. Her seat stayed empty, bag still under the desk, like she meant to come back. At lunch, I went to her house. The front door was locked, but her bike was still outside. Curtains closed, no sound. I knocked until my knuckles bled. A neighbor said she saw Maya leave early, walking toward the woods behind the neighborhood. I felt something twist deep in my chest. The same place, the same woods. I followed the path behind her house. The air smelled of pine and something old, metallic, and wrong. Footprints led through the mud, small ones first, then deeper ones alongside, heavier, inhuman. The trees whispered when the wind moved through them, like they were carrying a secret. I found her backpack at the edge of a clearing, torn strap, blood on the zipper, and next to it, a single long claw, still wet. I heard something move behind me. Not footsteps, breathing. I turned, flashlight trembling. A shape stepped out of the fog, tall, hunched, eyes glinting yellow, like dying coals. It stared at me for a heartbeat that lasted forever. Then it smiled, not a snarl, a smile. It remembered me. I ran. Branches tore my skin. I didn't look back until I reached the road. The clearing behind me was empty. Only one thing left, a single word, carved into the dirt. Maya. I called her name until my throat cracked, but only the wind answered. The forest behind me felt alive, pulsing with every heartbeat I had left. By the time I reached her porch again, her lights were on. The front door hung open. Maya. My voice barely sounded like mine. The air inside smelled of damp soil and smoke. Every photo on the walls had been turned face down. I moved room to room, flashlight shaking in my hand. The kitchen window was open. Muddy prints tracked across the floor. I followed them down the hallway. They stopped at her bedroom door. Inside, the curtains fluttered. Her phone sat on the bed, camera still open. The last picture was the same shadow I saw in the woods, closer this time. I whispered her name again, and something creaked under the bed. I crouched, heart hammering, and lifted the sheet. Nothing. Then a hand grabbed my wrist. I screamed, stumbled back, and hit the wall. Maya crawled out, shaking, dirt smeared across her face. Ryan. She looked different, pale, eyes wide, pupils dilated like an animal's. I thought you were gone, I said. She flinched at the light. Close it, please. I switched off the flashlight. She exhaled slowly, relief flooding her face. What happened? I asked. She didn't answer, just stared past me at the window. It followed me back. A chill crawled down my neck. The same one. Her lips trembled. It's not alone anymore. Outside, something scraped against the siding. A low growl rolled through the night air. Maya's breath hitched. It talks now. Before I could speak, a voice outside whispered, broken, uneven, almost human. Maya, come out. I froze. It was my voice. Every syllable perfect. She shook her head violently. It learns. It remembers voices. The whisper came again, softer. Please, Maya, open the door. I grabbed her hand. We have to move. We ran through the hallway, down to the basement. She locked the door behind us, pressing her ear to the wood. The voice outside changed deeper now, heavier. You can't hide again. The lights flickered. Maya whispered, it knows this house. The sound of claws dragged along the wall, moving from room to room above us. I felt the vibration through the floorboards, slow and deliberate. Maya covered her ears, tears streaking down her face. It's calling the others. The word others made my stomach drop. Then I heard it multiple breaths outside, overlapping, circling. One growl turned into several. The door rattled, wood splintered, and through the cracks, yellow eyes began to bloom like stars in the dark. Maya grabbed my arm. They want me, Ryan, not you, I whispered back. Then they'll have to take us both. The first claw pierced the door. The wood screamed as claws tore through it, raining splinters across the basement floor. Maya pulled me behind a stack of crates, breathing so fast it sounded like fire crackling. Light from the stairwell flickered, slicing through the dark in short, frantic flashes. Between them, I saw shapes, large, twisted, crawling on all fours. One of them sniffed the air, slow and deep, like it was savoring the scent of us. Another pressed its snout against the broken door, letting out a wet, rattling growl. Maya's fingers dug into my arm. They won't stop, she whispered. They never stop. I searched the shelves for anything. Tools, fuel, something sharp. My hand brushed against a half-empty gas can. It would have to do. Fire worked before, I said, trying to believe it. Maya nodded, trembling. Then we burned them again. The first creature forced its head through the door, snapping the hinges free. Its eyes caught the light, dull and hungry. I poured the gas along the floor and sparked the lighter. The flame raced across the concrete, leaping toward the beast's face. It shrieked, stumbled back, flames licking its fur. For a moment, the others hesitated, pulling into the shadows. The fire crackled, spreading faster than I expected. Smoke thickened. My lungs screamed. We stumbled toward the storm door at the back of the basement, coughing. But when I pulled the handle, it didn't move. Maya hit it with both fists. It's locked. Through the smoke, I saw one of the creatures crawl along the ceiling, its claws sliding between pipes. It dropped down behind us, landing with a heavy thud. I swung the metal pole I'd grabbed from the shelf. It connected with its jaw, but it barely flinched. Maya kicked over another can. The flames roared higher. The creature hissed, backing away, skin blistering. The air grew hotter, unbearable. Maya, the window, I shouted. She smashed it with the hammer, shards scattering across the floor. The night outside looked cold and endless. We crawled through the frame, the heat licking our backs. I hit the ground hard, dragging Maya out after me. Behind us, the basement collapsed in sparks and smoke. The creatures didn't scream this time. They just watched us from within the flames, their eyes still glowing. One stepped forward, its skin peeling, voice mangled. Ryan, you burned yourself too, Maya gasped. It's learning faster. We ran into the woods, the night swallowing the firelight behind us. The forest felt alive, whispering, moving, guiding us somewhere. We didn't stop until we reached the river. The current was fast, black, and cold. Maya looked at me, eyes full of panic. It's not over, is it? I shook my head. No, they're spreading. She stared into the water. Then what happens when there's nothing left to burn? A splash behind us, ripples spreading. I turned slowly. Something is rising from the river, dripping and smiling. The river boiled around the thing crawling out of it. Steam rolled off its skin like it had carried the fire with it underwater. Its eyes glowed faintly, soft yellow through the fog. Maya stumbled backward, clutching my arm. "It followed us through the water," she whispered. I couldn't answer. My throat locked up. The creature rose to its full height, taller than before, bones stretching under its skin like something constantly rebuilding itself. Its grin widened. "You can't drown what breathes the dark." I grabbed a broken branch, useless but familiar. Maya's hand shook around the hammer. The water behind the monster rippled again. More shapes moved beneath the surface. Dozens, maybe more. The current hissed as claws broke the water. The air stank of wet fur and decay. "They were never trapped in the woods," I muttered. "They were waiting." Maya's face turned white. Waiting for what? To spread. The first one lunged from the riverbank. I swung the branch, hit its shoulder, but it barely reacted. Maya struck another in the head, cracking bone. It screamed like metal scraping glass. We backed toward the trees, step by step, until something behind us growled. Another shape, massive, scarred, older, the same creature from before, the one that remembered me. It circled slowly, lips curling back. "Fire didn't kill me, Ryan." My stomach dropped. "What do you want?" Its grin twisted. "To finish what started." Maya raised her hammer. "Then come finish it." It lunged. The force threw me backward into the mud. Maya swung again, hitting its jaw. It roared, grabbed her arm, and flung her like a rag doll. I crawled toward her, but the creature pinned me down. Its breath smelled like rust and smoke. "You're part of this now," it rasped. "The flame doesn't burn the blood." Its claws grazed my shoulder light, deliberate, like a signature. "Hen," it stopped, head jerking upward, nostrils flaring. The others froze too, listening. A sound echoed through the Tress metal engines. Human voices. Flashlights cutting through the fog. Park rangers. Search teams. The monsters hissed, retreating into the water. The main one lingered a second longer, eyes fixed on me. "You'll call us again," it whispered. "You always do." Then it vanished beneath the current. Maya groaned beside me, clutching her arm. "Ryan, your shoulder." I looked down. 3 long marks carved across my skin. The blood wasn't red, it shimmered faintly, darker, thicker. The searchlights found us minutes later. Someone shouted my name, hands pulling us up, wrapping blankets around us. They asked what happened. We said nothing. How do you tell anyone that the thing hunting you now beats inside your veins? That night in the hospital, I dreamed of running through trees on all fours, the smell of ash and river water in my lungs. When I woke, my eyes burned in the dark, and for a heartbeat, the world smelled alive. They kept me for observation. 3rd-degree burns, infection, shock. That's what the doctors wrote. No one mentioned claws, or the color of my blood. No one dared. Maya visited on the 2nd night. Her arm was in a sling, her eyes hollow, her voice a whisper. "They're still out there, Ryan." I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The sound was already in my head, breathing that wasn't mine, echoing behind my heartbeat. She sat on the edge of the bed, watching the rain slide down the window. "You can feel it too, can't you?" I turned toward her. "It's inside me." Maya didn't flinch. "Then we need to learn what it wants before it takes everything." The lights flickered. For a second, the reflection in the window wasn't mine. Longer teeth, eyes burning faint yellow. I blinked, and it was gone. That night, I dreamt of the forest again, but this time, I wasn't running. I was leading. The others followed me through the mist, quiet and patient. When I woke, my 4 was ripped out. Mud streaked the floor. The window was open. Maya was gone. I ran into the hallway, calling her name. Empty. The nurses were gone too. The silence wasn't natural. It was listening. I reached the exit doors. They were wide open. Outside, the rain had stopped. The air smelled like the river, metallic and alive. A single set of footprints led away from the hospital, into the woods. Bare feet, small Mayas. I followed. The forest accepted me without hesitation. The cold didn't bite anymore. The darkness didn't blind. Every heartbeat in the distance sounded clear, sharp, beautiful. I found her standing by the river, the same place. She turned slowly, smiling through tears. "You came." Her eyes were golden. I wanted to speak, but no words came. Only a growl, deep, raw, honest. She reached for my hand. Her skin was warm, pulsing with something not human, not entirely monstrous. "It's easier if you stop fighting," she whispered. The moon broke through the clouds. My reflection in the water smiled back, teeth sharp, pupils glowing. We didn't run this time, we listened, and in the distance, deep within the trees, others answered. A chorus of howls rolled through the night, each one echoing my name until I couldn't tell where the sound ended and I began. I felt no fear, only belonging. The forest moved closer, shadows bending like they were breathing with us. The curse wasn't a punishment, it was an invitation. Now, when the wind passes through my window, it whispers their names, and when you listen too long, it learns yours. If you still hear the howl after the story ends, subscribe before the next one begins, before it calls your name.